The City of Sandwich has placed a referendum on the ballot for a 1% sales tax increase in the coming election on April 4th, 2017. This video is intended to show facts surrounding this referendum so voters can make an informed decision. We encourage you to view and share this video with friends and family who may be voting in April. We want to provide an overview of many of the services the city provides in an effort to eliminate any confusion. The city is just one of many local governments having jurisdiction in the City of Sandwich. Others include the Park District, School District, Fire District, and so on. Each has its own tax base. So we are going to provide an overview of some of the services the City of Sandwich is responsible for within the city limits, and we will start with the Police Department. The Sandwich Police Department serves the citizens of the City of Sandwich as well as our guests who pass through, shop, and play in our community on a daily basis. They provide full-time, 24-hour service and protection to the public. The Police Department assists other emergency services agencies, including DeKalb, Kendall, and LaSalle counties in areas such as Wildwood and Lake Holiday. Calls are received through the 24-hour dispatch center for dealing with 911 and non-emergency calls. Officers are involved in major crime and narcotics task forces, building checks, vacation checks, and neighborhood watch crime prevention programs. Additional programs include a cadet program for IVBC students to gain knowledge of law enforcement as a potential career choice and to work within the community. The DARE program that started in Sandwich in 1995 gives students the skills they need to avoid drugs, violence, and gangs. Some members of the support services staff are certified as car seat installers. And a canine unit was added in 2016 thanks to a grant and donations from the community. The Emergency Management Agency keeps a watchful eye on the sky when storms are approaching. In the event of a disaster, they would be responsible for coordinating a response. You're probably familiar with their presence on Facebook. The city has school crossing guards in various locations to ensure kids get to school safely. Many services fall under the umbrella of public works, things like street maintenance, stormwater, including maintenance of existing systems, small projects, and planning for additional drainage needs, sidewalks. There are miles of sidewalk to maintain and repair in the city. Maintenance of city-owned parkway trees, including general pruning of low-hanging branches, and storm damage response. The city is also responsible for miles of snow removal and de-icing. Annually, the city expends about $50,000 to $70,000 to purchase salt for the use on the roadway. Snow removal is accomplished using 7 trucks ranging in age from 25 years to 1-year-old. Leaf pickup program that began in 2014 has been a popular addition to city services. For 6 weeks in the fall, the city will vacuum leaves from the parkway and dispose of them. The actual disposal of the leaves continues to be a challenge as we are doing so in an environmentally friendly manner. And things like pavement striping, replacement of traffic signs, maintenance of traffic signals, weed control by the city's own licensed pesticide applicators, mosquito abatement, brush pickup, and mowing of more than 70 acres of city-owned property. Public Works is responsible for the operations and maintenance of 2 water treatment plants, maintenance of distribution system pipes, valves, and fire hydrants, water meter reading and maintenance of the water meters themselves, and water and sewer billing, and response to water main and service line failures. Operations and maintenance of the wastewater treatment plant. And of course, maintenance of the sanitary sewer collection system. The city is responsible for issuing building permits, reviewing building plans, submittals, and reviewing projects for zoning ordinance conformance. The city clerk's office is the customer service hub of the City of Sandwich. They perform many duties such as water and sewer billing, maintenance of municipal records and documents, and voter registration. Moving on to the city budget and some of the reasons the 1% sales tax referendum has been placed on the ballot. With our budget in its current state, addressing future costs of projects and even day-to-day needs is difficult. Revenue has remained static over the past several years while costs have increased. Some examples of increased costs include workers' compensation, police pension, and employee salaries and benefits. Our employees are our most valuable asset, and they have had to share the burden of the budget deficit by seeing wage freezes and changes to contributions and benefits for health care plans. Also, the need for infrastructure projects is apparent, and these projects do not come cheap. One of the items I just mentioned is workers' compensation. You can see the city's annual cost has increased by $125,000 since 2013. And contributions to the police pension fund have increased about $200,000. The pension fund is required to be funded at 90% by the year 2040. These two items alone, workers' compensation and police pensions funding, when added up, exceeds the $240,000 budget deficit of 2016. And finally, the city's infrastructure itself is in need of updates, repairs, and replacement. We will take a look at some of these now. Streets. Street improvements rank high on the wish list of residents who took the survey the city conducted in early 2017. The city is using motor fuel funds from the state for the annual street program. Right now, that is about $190,000 per year. That really limits the work that can be done to improve streets, and many of them are in need of much more than a simple overlay of asphalt. We have to address the underlying issues that are causing the streets to fail, and it costs more money to do so. Sidewalks are a concern for many citizens. The city is also working to increase sidewalk accessibility for our residents and visitors. Water distribution system, whether it is increasing the size of the water main in undersized areas or replacing sections that are prone to breaks. The city is monitoring repairs and replacements that are needed for the sanitary sewer system. The pipes that carry the sewage to the pumping stations and treatment plant are being televised and evaluated for failures, roots, and water infiltration. It is important to note that water and sewer projects are paid for with revenue from water and sewer billing. However, many of these projects also involve streets, stormwater, and sidewalk replacements that comes from the general fund. One example of this is the Lisbon Street project scheduled for 2017. The main objective of the project at the beginning was to improve parking on this block and replace the sidewalk. As part of preparing for the project, the sanitary sewer line was televised to check its condition, and it was found to be in need of replacement. So it makes sense to fix the sanitary sewer line, replace and upsize the water main, and provide curb and gutter for better stormwater control. Similar projects are needed throughout the city. Another problem is the empty lots that are in the developed subdivisions. The city is responsible for all infrastructure in subdivisions such as streets, street lighting, and sidewalks. Because many of the lots are undeveloped, the property taxes do not bring in enough tax revenue to maintain that infrastructure. The streets have added considerably to time, manpower, de-icing chemicals, and equipment necessary to plow and maintain streets. In order to help stimulate the residential construction, the city developed a program, BUILD, B-U-I-L-D, incentive program to decrease the initial building permit fees for one-family homes. The police department is in need of modernization. The facility was originally a dairy back in the 50s, but is too outdated and undersized to efficiently conduct the current day-to-day operation of a police department. The city has purchased a building on East 6th Street with intentions of relocating in the future. The City Council has decided that in order to modernize our community, provide essential services, and attract future residents and economic growth, more revenue is needed. Let's review the specifics about a sales tax and its effect on residents and visitors to the city. The sales tax is paid when you purchase goods in the city of Sandwich. The current rate is a state rate of 6.25%. If we break that down, 5% goes to the state, 1% goes to the city, and 0.25% goes to the county. The portion of sales tax we receive right now makes up about half of the city budget. So it is very important if the increase is approved by the voters, an additional 1% will be distributed to the city. That could mean an additional $600,000 per year. Here's a list of area sales taxes. Some of these are larger communities in Sandwich, but many Sandwich residents shop in towns like Oswego, DeKalb, and Yorkville. Economic development was cited as being very important to the residents and participated in the survey recently the city conducted. Keep in mind that a community that has good police protection, nice streets and sidewalks, and so on is attractive to potential new residents, visitors, and business. A 1% sales tax is equal to 1 penny for every dollar you spend in the city of Sandwich, and it does not affect your property taxes. For example, if you spend $2,000 in 1 year in the city of Sandwich, you would pay an additional $20 in sales tax. If you make a purchase for $35, then your additional cost would be 35 cents. A sales tax is paid by non-residents of the city when they make applicable purchases and establishments within the city of Sandwich. These non-residents assumed to be subjected to increased sales tax would be from Lake Holiday, Wildwood, and rural areas surrounding the community, as well as others passing through or visiting. Remember, Sandwich residents aren't the only ones using our streets and services. For example, County Line Road between East 2750th to Main Street is maintained and snowplowed by the city of Sandwich, but is heavily traveled by non-residents. It is estimated that the percentage of revenue generated by 1% sales tax that will incur from non-residents could be as high as 65%. When you shop, these items are included in sales tax. Things like gasoline, alcohol, car parts, cleaning supplies, and household hardware. These items, including most groceries, prescription and non-prescription drugs and medicines and vehicles, RVs, boats, and trailers are not included in the sales tax increase. One of the questions we hear all the time is whether or not sales tax increase would affect car sales. The answer is no. The vehicles remain in the state tax rate of 6.25%. So what could we do with increased revenue? We need to improve North Main Street in near term, sidewalk, storm, and sanitary, sewer, and water main from Center Street to Northwest 2nd Street, eventually working our way north. Police Department, relocate to the recently purchased building on East 6th Street. Sidewalk replacement, save for larger scale replacement projects. Downtown street lighting. The current system was installed in 1950. Over the years, there have been repairs made to keep the system operational. More recently, we are finding the poles are deteriorating and in need of replacement. Street improvements. As mentioned earlier, we are currently using motor fuel tax funds for street maintenance, and we are investigating different methods to preserve and prolong the life of the existing street pavement. The city has been setting aside funds for the replacement of Pratt Road Bridge and is actively pursuing federal assistance, and we will need to maintain our fleet vehicles and equipment in order to serve our citizens without interruption. The details within this video will hopefully provide more information for those who have had questions regarding what the 1% sales tax increase would mean to them, and to those who have questions regarding how the additional revenue could be spent by the City of Sandwich. It is important that the citizens of the City of Sandwich have enough information to understand why the City Council has chosen to include the 1% sales tax increase on the April 4th ballot. If after watching this video there are still questions concerning the 1% sales tax increase, concerned citizens are always invited to attend City Council meetings that occur the first 4 Mondays of every month.